What's up guys, Sam Adams here, and welcome to On the Topic Of, which is a series every single Friday here on the YouTube channel, where I choose a topic that's either been in the video game news spotlight in the past week, or something that's really just been on my mind that I want to talk to you guys about, and I give my thoughts and opinions on that. And today I wanted to talk about indie games, and this is not going to be my normal kind of video where I have a script planned out, and I have a defined outline of what I want to say, but it's just kind of going to be, a tie-in to an article that I wrote yesterday, and I'll link that article down below. You can check it out. I'll throw a screenshot up somewhere around here so that you guys can decide if you want to read that or not. But it's this kind of long-form article about indie games and how they've transitioned, and we're kind of in a period where the term indie game is actually dying out, and I think that that is pretty awesome, actually. So what I mean by this is that indie games themselves aren't dying, the term is what is actually dying. But whenever I was first really branching out and getting into other forms of games other than my, Call of Duty staple, because I originated as a Call of Duty guy, and then over time I kind of branched out and now I play a plethora of different kinds of games. But I feel like that's the way most people start. But the original indie games in my mind are games like Limbo, Super Meat Boy, and The Binding of Isaac. Those just kind of personify what indie games are. Of course, you could throw stuff in like Thomas Was Alone, but earlier this week I was watching a Let's Play of a new game coming out in the next couple of weeks called Superhot. And in this game, time only moves when you do. That's the kind of slogan they're throwing out with this game. But basically, if you don't move, your enemies don't either, and you can line up perfect headshots with your handgun, or you can punch them in the face if you can run and then stop and then punch. It's just a really cool concept. Now, I was watching a playthrough of this over on Kinda Funny Games with Greg Miller and Tim Geddes that used to work for IGN, branched off, made their own company. They are extremely successful and they are awesome guys, but this Let's Play got me thinking of why I don't see Superhot as an indie game. By all means, it should be just the same as Limbo and Binding of Isaac and Thomas Was Alone in my mind. It's made by a small guy, well, not really a small guy per se, it's just Mike Bithell, and he has a little team working on this game. But I believe that the gamers' minds themselves are having a kind of transition at this time, because whenever I was first starting out, like I said, there were just AAA games. Maybe it was just me, but for the most part, people stuck to your basic Halo, your basic Call of Duty, your basic Battlefield, and they all just kind of played those. And over time, more and more indie games have come out, and these little indie games are starting to get really big followings. For instance, I love the game Tiny and Big Grandpa's Leftovers. It's an amazing game. It didn't get much indie spotlight, it didn't get much of the limelight of the gaming industry, but it still became popular just because of how great the physics were, of how great the gravity in the game was, and all of these games have certain things that make them kind of pop and stand above their competitors, because ultimately games are just outlets for the creative people of the world to kind of make something for other people to enjoy, and that's something that's extremely admirable. So instead of looking at a game and dissecting it for its graphics, for how hard it pushes the hardware that it's running on, whether it be PC, Xbox One, or PlayStation 4, or even Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, the gamers are kind of looking at games more objectively. For instance, when you sit down and play Superhot, you think this game has something that other games just simply don't have. It has something that's unique, it has a creative idea, and that's what makes it stand out in the gaming industry itself. You can also look at Thomas Was Alone, for instance, another game developed by Mike Bithell, the guy that made Superhot, and you can say, wow, no other game has really used writing and the narrative plot of this game to kind of make this game that's simply about shapes moving across a screen a truly, memorable experience, something that is definitely worth checking out again and playing through multiple times just to kind of experience it. And that's what the gamers are transitioning more over to. They're looking at games, and indie games are dying because of this. The gamers are dissecting games for the content that they have rather than what the games themselves are doing, and that's something that's great because that evens out the playing field. For instance, of course, Halo 5 is coming out this year, but I'm just as excited about playing Superhot as I am for Halo 5. And all of these games that are coming out are beautiful because I love games, you love games. If you're watching this, you probably love playing games. And the fact that more games are coming out and less of these games are being judged for how they run, how the graphics are, and how beautiful the game looks, and they're being judged more for their content, is something that's definitely admirable and a change that has been a long time in the making in the gaming industry, and that's something that gets me excited. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what you think about what I said. Do you think the indie games themselves are dying? Are the minds of gamers really changing? Or am I just full of hot air and I'm just going through a transition myself? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you are new to the channel or you've never seen any of my other videos, be sure to check out some of my other content. I upload new stuff like 4 or 5 days a week depending on the week. So there's always something new on the channel when you drop by here to check out some content. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Be sure to check out Superhot. I'm not sponsoring them or anything like that, but it just looks like an awesome game that's definitely worth a shot. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.